That is all the information we have for you on this Friday, December 31st, New Year's Eve 2010. Let's go back to Father Reed and Jay with more of This Is the Day.
Kevin, thank you. As always, wonderful job. Well, as we suffer through the cold weather here in the Northeast, and our friends, our great friends in Canada, Father Rosica and that group up there with Gita, and of course, you know, Louisiana, and the other places could be warmer, but very cold here. You know where it isn't cold?
Down in Bishop Barbarito's land.
Palm Beach, and our great friend Alexa Walkenstein.
Alexis, oh, she's the Director of Communications for Palm Beach.
Yes.
She is a wonderful friend to us here at Catholic TV, and I know she's excited that we have Bishop Barbarito on today.
We do. Kevin Nelson had the chance to speak with Bishop Barbarito, and here's what he had to tell us.
Well, thank you, and joining us now is Bishop Gerald Barbarito of Palm Beach, Florida, and we welcome you to the show, first of all, Bishop.
Thank you very, very much, Kevin. I'm glad to be with you, and glad to be with Catholic TV, America's Catholic Network. For very, very happy to be with you today.
Thank you. And I thought if we could just talk a little bit about vocations, and maybe if you could, I know it's a priority of the diocese as well, but maybe if you could talk a little bit about the Diocesan Vocations Committee.
Well, we've just started it hasn't actually begun in terms of having it in place yet, but we're starting a vocations committee, which consists of different men and women of different areas of ministry within our diocese who have come together, and they're reflecting on vocation to the priesthood and religious life, and what they're going to do is go out into the parishes, and in the parishes build upon that foundation and put together committees within the parish so that we build vocation awareness within the diocese.
Yeah, I mean, if you could too talk about that and some of the key components maybe, and how to create this sort of culture of vocations, I guess, get everybody thinking about it more, and you know, just from talking to many different people.
Right. That's one of the challenges among us today, is to build a culture, an awareness of vocations. One of the things that I believe is essential to that is to first of all realize that the fundamental vocation is the vocation of the family, and by encouraging men and women today to realize that marriage is a vocation, and to accept marriage as a vocation and family as a vocation, I believe in that context arises a realization of the call to priesthood and to the religious life. But we do have within our culture today a vocation crisis, and it's in the basic vocation, which is the vocation of marriage and family life. And we see that in the reality of younger people marrying at an older age. We see that in the reality of marriages breaking up. We see that in the reality today of so many different forms of alternative forms to marriage being proposed. The basic vocation, the reality that God has made man and woman in His image and likeness and called them to give of themselves so they can bring life into this world, requires sacrifice, requires a commitment. That's the guts of any vocation. That certainly is the guts of priesthood and religious life. But having a difficulty in encouraging people today to realize the sanctity of marriage and the call, that they're called to this form of life and they have to give of themselves, makes it all the more difficult to build an awareness of a culture of vocations to priesthood and religious life. But I'm very confident in that area. Today especially I see young men and women who are looking for something more in this world, and they're looking to priesthood and to religious life, of that in which they can give of themselves more.
Is it important, I mean, not just in terms of priests as well, but in terms of just friends and family members too, to sort of draw out people, maybe ask them about that? How important is
Yes, I think that's important today, that that priests encourage young men, young women in their parishes to consider maybe God is calling them towards a vocation, to point out the qualities of their lives that they see that are important, that would make them good in terms of that particular vocation. Families especially today, to have families encourage young people within their families, mothers and fathers to encourage their children that maybe this is God is calling you to do this, and to be happy with that, and to be proud about that. That's a wonderful thing. That's a great gift. I think that's all very important, and that's why we're doing this vocations committee within the diocese, so that we go into the parishes and we encourage the lay people within the parish, both in the schools and the CCD programs and the youth ministry programs and educational programs, to foster this culture of vocations.
Well, we thank you so much, Bishop, for being here today.
Oh, it's a pleasure. I'm very, very happy to be with you, and again, happy to be with Catholic TV, and I thank you, Kevin, for your time.
Well, thank you. And we're going to turn to the rest now of This is the Day.